Scaly kind is the title of a great number of reptilian species in the realms, dating back to the first so-called creator race, the Saurial, some 30,000 years ago. However, the species we are here to talk about today is not a member of the scaly kind, and has no links to any of the creator races, or the gods of Faerun for that matter, because they came from another world. Today, we're going to learn all there is to know about the dinosaur-like Saurials. While largely keeping to themselves, a few Saurials have gained recognition in the wider world. Dragonbait is perhaps the most famous Saurial. Dragonbait is a fin-head paladin known for his quiet courage and unwavering loyalty. He gained prominence through his adventures alongside the warrior Alias, chronicled in the Finder's Stone trilogy. His travels and heroism have served as an inspiration for younger Saurials in the Lost Vale, encouraging them to look beyond their isolation. He's appeared in official Dungeons & Dragons materials, including the 5th edition adventure Tomb of Annihilation, and then there is Grift, a hornhead. Grift serves as the respected leader of the Saurial community residing in the Lost Vale. He provides guidance and stability for his people as they continue to recover and maintain their sanctuary. Much of the initial lore and the introduction of the Saurials to the wider D&D audience comes through the novel series The Finder's Stone trilogy by Kate Novak and Jeff Grubb. This series introduced the character Dragonbait and provided narrative context for the Saurials' plight, their connection to Moanda, their hidden refuge in the Lost Vale. I came to know Dragonbait via a video game set in the Tomb of Annihilation adventure setting in the jungles and ruins of Chult, but outside of their initial novels, they first appeared in the Dungeons & Dragons role-playing canon in the Monstrous Compendium Forgotten Realms Appendix MC11 for 2nd edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. They also appear in the Complete Book of Humanoids, where we first saw the playable stats for the species. The Book of Lairs, Volume 1 and 2, Polyhedron magazine within the Living Jungle campaign articles, and there are some dedicated fans to their location, I can assure you. The Serpent Kingdoms, and then Races of Faerun, and finally, the Tomb of Annihilation adventure. But to save you hunting down all those documents, I've gathered all the lore for you, so settle back, grab yourself a tasty beverage. Derek, Jessica and Mason, this one's for you, and a reminder to all of you, I frequently research and produce these videos prompted by requests from viewers. The best way to do this is to join my Discord server. You don't have to be a financial supporter of the channel. I'm not going to lie and say that I'm not going to be influenced by those, and those requests will get priority. Let's be real here, I am a working stage after all. But please remember to like the video, make a comment below, share it on any social media, and if you enjoy my content on a regular basis, please subscribe to the channel. For those of you with a spare coin or two a month, consider supporting me on Fourthwall or Patreon for exclusive bonus content also, and perhaps just a one-off purchase of a deeply nerdy mug or t-shirt. And with that said, on with the lore. Saurials are a distinct and rare lineage of intelligent bipedal humanoids classified as saurioids, or scaly kind, bearing a striking resemblance to the dinosaurs of ages past. Crucially, they are not native inhabitants of Toril, the world that hosts the Forgotten Realms setting. Their origins lie in an unknown crystal sphere, or planet out in the astral sea somewhere, a distant world separated from Faerun and Karatur by a vastness of wild space in the astral sea. The Saurials' presence on Toril is a consequence of tragedy and coercion. The vast majority were forcibly abducted from their homeworld by malevolent deity Moanda, the Darkbringer, god of rot, corruption and decay. Moanda enslaved the Saurials, intending to use them as instruments of destruction, paving the way for his own foul rebirth upon Toril. Many Saurial heroes and defenders fell battling Moanda even before reaching this new world. Following Moanda's eventual defeat and death, an event tied to the actions of the heroes like Finder Weavenspur, Alias and the Saurial paladin Dragonbait, the surviving Saurials faced a difficult choice. Rather than attempting a perilous and uncertain journey back to their lost home, they elected to remain on Toril. Encouraged by figures such as the sage Elminster, they committed to staying, partly to help heal the land scarred during the enslavement, and they settled primarily in a hidden refuge, beginning a long process of physical and spiritual recovery. Saurials are undeniably dinosaur-like in appearance. They possess rough, tough, scaly hides, often adorned with naturally vibrant stripes or spots, which they sometimes enhance with decorative body paint. This paint serves not only an aesthetic purpose, but also subtly modifies their scent cues for communication. They have sharp claws on their hands and feet, and balancing tails. Unlike many reptilian creatures found in Toril, Saurials are not cold-blooded. Communication among Saurials is a complex affair, far removed from the spoken tongues of humans, elves, or dwarves. Their native language consists of a combination of high-pitched whistles, clicks, and chirps, many of which fall outside the range of human hearing, but not elves, intertwined with distinctive pheromonal scents that convey emotional states and complex meaning. For instance, a specific lilac fragrance signifies a deep longing for their lost homeworld. This unique linguistic structure makes direct communication with non-Saurials nearly impossible without magical assistance, as you imagine, like a tongue spell would work. Or specialized empathy, though some limited understanding can sometimes be achieved with dragons due to distant commonalities with the draconic language. To bridge this gap, some Saurial communities, like the Saurials of Malatra, have developed specialized signed languages for interacting silently during hunts or communicating with their neighboring tribes. Saurial society is characterized by strong communal bonds and a generally peaceful, pragmatic outlook, though tinged with the melancholy of their history. While numerous subraces are believed to exist on the original homeworld, only 4 distinct types of Saurials are known to have established populations on Toril. These names were given to them by the inhabitants of the realms, as their own Saurial designations, of course, remain largely unpronounceable to outsiders. First, we have the Bladebacks. Named for their prominent plates, ridges, or spines running down their backs, Bladebacks are often larger and more physically imposing than other subraces. They are less numerous in established settlements, likely due to the greater food resources required to sustain their great size. The Finheads, distinguished by a prominent crest or fin adorning their heads, are often described as excitable and eager when faced with new challenges or experience. This inherent curiosity and tendency to charge head first into situations make them the subrace most likely to become adventurers encountered outside of their hidden communities. The famed Saurial hero Dragonbait is a Finhead. Flyers possess membranous wings or wing-like forelimb extensions resembling those of pterosaurs. Flyers are, as you imagine, capable of limited flight or gliding. They tend to be smaller and more agile than Bladebacks or Hornheads and constitute a significant portion of the Saurial population in the Lost Vale. The Hornheads, characterized by their bony horns or horn-like clusters on their heads. Hornheads are typically robust and sturdy. Like Bladebacks, they represent a smaller number within the known communities compared to Finheads and Flyers, possibly due to resource limitations. The leader of the Lost Vale community, Grift, is a Hornhead. These 4 subraces coexist peacefully within their settlements, viewing each other as part of a single, unified people, despite their physical differences. Most Saurials tend towards a neutral good alignment. They often possess a straightforward, almost black and white view of morality, valuing honesty, community welfare, and fulfilling one's duties. Their experiences under Moanda have left them wary, but not inherently hostile towards outsiders. Saurials form strong community ties, living and working together for the benefit of the tribe. All subraces are treated as equals within a settlement. They're known to mate for life, forming deep and lasting pair bonds. Typically, a mated pair lays 1 or 2 eggs annually. Both parents share the responsibility of guarding the eggs during incubation and raising the hatchlings. The young Saurials reach physical maturity relatively quickly, within about 5 years, but achieving mental and emotional maturity takes considerably longer, typically an additional 10 to 15 years, mirroring human development personality-wise in their timelines. Within their settlements, most Saurials lead lives as farmers, hunters, weavers, carpenters, masons, blacksmiths, and even musicians. They focus on self-sufficiency and maintaining their community. The trauma of their reduction and enslavement still weighs heavily on them, fostering a degree of isolationism and a cautious approach to the wider world. However, inspired by the tales of adventurers like Dragonbait, younger generations are showing increased curiosity about the world beyond their hidden valleys. While specific details are scarce, Saurial spirituality seems tied to elemental forces or potentially draconic entities, possibly stemming from a shared ancient ancestry. It's unknown. Druidic practices are known to flourish in the sheltered environment of the Lost Vale, and the Saurials in particular suffer from a sense of spiritual abandonment by their original gods. The Lost Vale, or Tark Haldale, the main population of Saurials in Faerun, resides within the Lost Vale, a hidden, lush and primordial valley nestled within the Desert Mouth Mountains, east of the Anarok Desert and near the Dale Lands, actually. The sanctuary is home to over 100 adult Saurials from all 4 known subraces. though, as I mentioned, finheads and flyers are more numerous than the larger bladebacks and hornheads, likely due to the valley's finite resources. The community is led by a hornhead named Grift, as mentioned. Life in the Vale is focused on subsistence, farming, hunting, and crafting. Initially, very few Saurials ventured beyond its borders, preoccupied as they were with recovery. The Vale itself has faced peril. It was threatened by the return of the Netherese city of Shade, and was subsequently displaced into a liminal space between worlds during the Sundering. This displacement occurred following a sacrifice by the heroine Alias, involving an ancient artifact meant to protect the Vale, locking it partially out of time for roughly a century. It sometimes manifests as a hazy, shimmering mirage to weary travellers in the Anarok, something to be aware of. Then we've got the Saurials of the Malatran Plateau. Far to the south, in the jungles of Karatua, lies the Malatran Plateau, home to a second group of known locally as Saurials, their entire species. Physically, they appear identical to the Saurials of the Lost Vale, encompassing exactly the same four subraces: the bladebacks, finheads, flyers, and hornheads. They too claim to have been abducted from another world, arriving on Toril due to a magical mishap rather than direct enslavement by Moanda, though their origin world is presumed to be the same one. It's suggested the name Saurial might have been used initially due to naming restrictions within the RPGA's Living Jungle campaign, but lore confirms their Saurial heritage is absolutely the same. They originally settled in the Valley of Spirits, a place considered taboo by local human tribes, but were forced to flee following an unknown catastrophe around it was hundreds of years ago. Evidence suggests this event may be linked to an internal conflict symbolized by factions bearing tattoos of either a white heart or a black flame. I really don't know. They established a new hidden village named Lilac deep within the jungle, named for the distinctive scent emitted by homesick individuals. Though known to their neighbours on the plateau, Saurials generally avoid prolonged contact with others and outsiders, still grappling with the spiritual trauma of their displacement and their perceived abandonment or just isolationism for protection as they establish their population. They utilise a unique sign language, as I mentioned, for interaction with those known, and are good for trade goods, like Koshiva date wine, for instance, is one of their favourites. My name is AJ Pickett. As always, thanks for listening, and I'll be back with more for you very soon.